We're at a flower show today talking Heucheras, Heucherellas and Tiarellas with the UK's top grower, and that's brought to you with the support of King Seed and Cobra Garden. Good morning, Vicky. Hey, all right?
Yes,
lovely, it's looking beautiful.
Oh,
absolutely,
thanks.
as always, and congratulations on your gold award.
Thank you.
So tell us to start with, because you've got this beautiful display here of Heucheras, Heucherella and Tiarella, although you call it Tiarella.
I do, yes.
Yes, because you're posh.
I
you're from
don't know.
Cheshire. So could you explain what the difference is and what is, I mean, it's a beautiful group of plants. Where did they come from and how did they originate?
Okay, well, they're all North American woodland plants. Sadly, the woodlands of North America don't quite look like this.
No.
They're mainly green with different shaped foliage and some white flowers, pink flowers. But when you start to cultivate them and hybridize them, you start to get like some other colours coming in. From Palace Purple was a huge breakthrough for the Heuchera colour. And then once you've done that, then you can do this intergeneric cross, which is a Tiarella and a Heuchera crossed together to make a Heucherella.
Right, okay.
So, and I've got an instance of that. Shall I show you? Show you which they are. So you've got your Heuchera here.
So
here's
that's
your Heucheras.
the Heuchera.
Yeah, your Heucheras here. And then you've got your Tiarella here.
So they've got a different flower, haven't they? Because
yes,
like a really
call
foamy
fluffy.
flower, isn't
yeah,
it?
in fact, its common name is foam flower.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so that's a lovely one. And so you cross the two together, and that by doing that, you're enabling, because all the Tiarella are green with this marking in Martin, and so when the flowers of these are all fluffy, whereas the Heuchera have got all this fabulous foliage and colour, but not very, just main sort of, this is the sort of shape you're getting. So when you cross the two together, you start getting different shaped foliage and different flowers. So I think I might have another one round there, but I'll show you this one.
So this is
Redstone Falls. This is a Heucherella, which is a cross between the two. And as you can see, the flowers, if you get close up with the flower, you'll see it's a bell back with a starry centre.
It's really dainty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well?
Yeah, they're very dainty. And this one's trailing. There are no trailing Heucheras, but because you're crossing the Tiarella with it, there are trailing Tiarellas.
Oh, right.
So you end up getting a trailing Heucherella.
Right. But they're not all. Some of them still have that lovely mouth.
Yeah, they're not all, no.
Okay.
So, yes.
So great in gardens, in containers. What sort of conditions do they need to grow? Bear in mind they're woodland plants. Do they need to be in a wood?
They don't need to be in a wood.
No.
Some shade at your house or the shade of another plant or an odd tree in your garden is great for the limey ones. The Tiarellas, the limey ones and the lighter coloured foliage. Some of the Heucherellas have to be in shade as well.
Okay.
But they can all grow in part shade. So you can put them together like this in your garden as long as you've got some light dappled shade. Okay. They won't take the midday sun, that's the thing.
Which is good, because a lot of people ask questions, what can I plant in a shady corner of the garden?
And
so
normally,
these are ideal.
Yeah, normally you're not getting these poppy colours like this.
No.
You're normally getting something green with a blue flower or a white flower quite often. But you can actually, if you've got a sunny garden, we've got something for you.
Yeah.
So we've got these darker colours. So any dark sort of blacks, reds, purples, these reds, the purples, you know, this black one again, you know, black forest cake. All of these sort of colours can go in the full sun as well.
Right, and that can be either planted in the ground or
in containers. You can put them in walls, living walls. You can put them in hanging baskets, wall baskets. You know, whatever you want. This is another Heucherella here. I don't know if you can see it because of the tree, but that's a really pretty flower. If you look at that, yeah, little pink one. That gets a profusion of those on there. Yeah, and these leaves again. You've got the markings here from the Tiarella, and the shape of the leaf comes from the Tiarella, but all that colour coming from the Heuchera.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And you've done quite a bit of breeding, haven't you?
We have, yes.
crossing over the years and named quite a few.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, this is one of ours.
Oh right.
This is
walnut.
one.
Yes.
This is walnut. Now you come in all shapes and sizes, like we all do these do.
Yeah.
Yeah. the little tiny ones, and then there's really big ones. So this one's Heuchera walnut, and we bred this because it will grow massive. It gets bigger than this throughout the season. By the time the end of the season comes, these leaves will be as big as my hand.
And it is a beautiful shape, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you've got a biggish corner to fill, then
Yeah,
it's
great.
It,
and this will go in full sun as well.
Right, okay.
If you put this in full sun, you'll get more of these tones. If you put it in the shade, it'll go more chocolatey.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
so it changes with the light level.
And a lot of them have got this underneath colour as well, which is interesting. When the wind blows, you get this as well. So, like if you've got something like the Pink Panther underneath here, which is only a little one, then you sort of start getting them toning up there. You can always tone them up like that.
And of course they're all totally hardy, so they don't need to be brought in for the winter.
No, hardy to -20 and evergreen.
Exactly, so
Evergreen.
all year round.
Yeah.
Now, on your displays, you always have loads of flower. And then some of them have got short flowers, some have got longer flowers, different colours. But how do you keep them flowering? How, is deadheading something that you need to do like you do on other plants?
Yeah, deadheading is really, well, if you want to keep them flowering, I mean, and they go untidy when they start to go over. I mean, all these are okay. I'm looking for one I can deadhead for you because I do need to deadhead something. Let's just pop back there because this one here is just going over here now.
Okay.
So if I was deadheading this, which will keep it throwing more flowers up, what I do is I go right down here. I'll move that leaf there and I just take this down here and I give it a little twist like that and pull it off, and it comes off and it's right down there. Yeah, just tied it back up again so that the public can't see it. But that's going over. So once that goes like that, you can just get that, take it away.
Yeah,
take it away.
Compost bin.
Yeah, compost bin. And then, as you can see, there's lots more coming back up again.
And why do you do it that way, Vicky, rather than just getting your secateurs or snips and
right,
putting
well,
it off
here's
there?
one I did cut because it was just before judging, and I didn't want to mess the plant about too much.
I see.
See that one there?
Yes.
Well, that's got to die all the way back down here now, right the way back down to the stalk here.
Yeah.
It's got all that way to go to there before all that to die back before it even knows it's missing.
Oh, I see.
So, but because it's broke off with this calyx, well, I call it a bit of a calyx, it's a bit like that, and it now knows that's missing.
So it will then
it'll start going, oh
automatically
gosh, I need to make more seed, more seed, more seed.
So in theory, you can keep these flowering for sort of from late spring through until late summer.
In theory, there's an odd one that won't do that for you. And if the weather goes hot like now, sometimes they do go off flowering a little bit because they're just trying to keep themselves, because they like to stay a bit cool if they can. Okay. So they keep the canopy over the crown and they're not putting all their energy into that. Right. So, but then when you need another colder week, no, not cold, but for it to settle down again, because it's like 26 today it's going to be. So now all they're thinking about now is protecting their crown.
Okay.
So if they were a person.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, I think of them as people, as you can tell.
Well, they're all your family, aren't they?
They're my babies.
You've bred lots of them. Because you've also got a national collection, haven't you?
Yes, we've got 3 national collections. Right. We've got the Heuchera, the Heucherella and the Tiarella.
And how many have you got in that collection?
Oh,
do you know?
Well, I've got 800 and odd
really?
in the Heuchera.
Oh, just Heucheras alone, wow.
And then I've got about 60 Tiarella, something like that. And there's not as many Heucherella, so I think I've got about 30 of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously you grow them and sell them at the nursery and flower shows like this and online. Yeah. So how many varieties do you stock to sell? You don't stock all 800, presumably?
No, I don't. No, because some of them you wouldn't really want in your garden, but they're quite good for crossing. It gives me a massive gene pool for doing some crossing with, and getting some great flowers. Some of them have got funny leaves, but they've got a great flower, and a big flower. Others have only got a tiny flower, but they've got a really nice shaped leaf. So, we use them for that. I don't know how many we sell. I just don't know how.
You've got a few hundred different types, I would imagine, haven't you, altogether?
Oh, yeah. I mean, probably Richard might know how many we've got of them. Maybe you should ask Richard that one.
Okay. Well, we know you've got a brilliant collection. The stand is looking fantastic.
Thank you.
And I think that every gardener's got room for few Heucheras and Heucherellas and
Oh,
Tiarellas,
yes,
haven't they? So yeah,
absolutely.
so good. Thank you, Vicky. I'm going to have a
Thank
look
you.
round and see what I can get for Mrs. Fish.
Oh, yes,
She's
that's
got a
it.
birthday coming up,
Oh,
so I
has
think
she?
this would be a perfect present.
I think
for
she'd
her.
love one of
Yeah,
these.
don't tell her though, because she's
I
behind
won't.
the camera. Okay. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Martin. Oh, that's a nice one. That's got a really nice silvery sheen on it, that one.
Do you think what would go with that one?
Ooh, this purple one goes with, and you could do for three for.
They would
That's
go
quite, and
really
that's
well,
nice
wouldn't
as
it?
well. Yeah, that one's nice.
Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and don't forget, as well as our weekly videos, we've also got our podcast that you can get from your normal provider. And here we have it, Jill's birthday present sorted for another year.
You've spoilt the surprise now.
Oh, I know, but you'll love it anyway. I'll wrap them for you. We'll be back again next week in the garden, so we'll see you then. Bye.